What if I told you that one decision made out of impatience still shapes the Middle East conflict today? Genesis 16 isn't just about Abram, Sarai, and Hagar. It's about the dangers of taking God's promises into our own hands. Let's unpack this together. Verses 1 to 2. Now Sarai, Abram's wife, bare him no children, and she had an handmaid, an Egyptian, whose name was Hagar. And Sarai said unto Abram, Behold now, the Lord hath restrained me from bearing. I pray thee, go in unto my maid. It may be that I may obtain children by her. And Abram hearkened to the voice of Sarai. Sarai is weary of waiting. Instead of trusting God's timing, she tries to solve the problem her own way. Abram listens, showing how even great men of faith can compromise. How often do we, out of frustration, try to help God fulfill His promises? Verses 3 to 4. And Sarai, Abram's wife, took Hagar her maid the Egyptian, after Abram had dwelt 10 years in the land of Canaan, and gave her to her husband Abram to be his wife. And he went in unto Hagar, and she conceived. And when she saw that she had conceived, her mistress was despised in her eyes. The household is now filled with jealousy, bitterness, and division. What looked like a shortcut became a source of conflict. Sin's ripple effects often start small but grow into long-term consequences. Verses 5 to 6. And Sarai said unto Abram, My wrong be upon thee. I have given my maid into thy bosom. And when she saw that she had conceived, I was despised in her eyes. The Lord judge between me and thee. But Abram said unto Sarai, Behold, thy maid is in thy hand. Do to her as it pleaseth thee. And when Sarai dealt hardly with her, she fled from her face. Sarai blames Abram. Abram, instead of leading, tells her, Do with her as you please. Sarai mistreats Hagar so harshly that Hagar flees into the desert. Avoiding responsibility often makes broken situations worse. Verses 7 to 12. And the angel of the Lord found her by a fountain of water in the wilderness, by the fountain in the way to Shur. And he said, Hagar, Sarai's maid, whence camest thou? And whither wilt thou go? And she said, I flee from the face of my mistress Sarai. And the angel of the Lord said unto her, Return to thy mistress, and submit thyself under her hands. And the angel of the Lord said unto her, I will multiply thy seed exceedingly, that it shall not be numbered for multitude. And the angel of the Lord said unto her, Behold, thou art with child, and shalt bear a son, and shalt call his name Ishmael, because the Lord hath heard thy affliction. And he will be a wild man. His hand will be against every man, and every man's hand against him. And he shall dwell in the presence of all his brethren. This is the first time in Scripture that the angel of the Lord appears. God meets Hagar, the rejected, the runaway, the oppressed. The angel says, Return to your mistress and submit to her. I will increase your descendants so much that they will be too numerous to count. He also says her son will be called Ishmael, which means God hears, and describes him, that he will be a wild man. His hand will be against everyone, and everyone's hand against him. Even in rejection, God sees the forgotten. He gives purpose to the broken-hearted. Verses 13 to 16. And she called the name of the Lord that spake unto her, Thou God sayest me. For she said, Have I also here looked after him that seeth me? Wherefore the well was called Beer Lahairoi. Behold, it is between Kadesh and Bered. And Hagar bare Abram a son. And Abram called his son's name, which Hagar bare, Ishmael. And Abram was 86 years old, when Hagar bare Ishmael to Abram. Hagar names the place Beer Lahairoi, the well of the living one who sees me. Abram was 86 years old when Hagar bore him Ishmael. God sees you, even when others mistreat or forget you. In this video we explored Genesis 16, the dramatic story of Abram, Sarai, and Hagar. Tired of waiting for God's promise, Sarai gives Hagar to Abram, and the results are jealousy, conflict, and pain. Yet in the middle of rejection, God appears to Hagar and reveals himself as El Roy, the God who sees. What can we learn? That God's promises don't need our shortcuts. That broken situations can become testimonies. And that God sees you even when the world overlooks you. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your reflections can strengthen someone else's faith. Until our next lesson, Shalom. Peace.